Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go over the worksheet that I assigned last Friday. Okay, I'm going to go over this so that you guys will have plenty of time to answer some of the questions. So I've had a decent amount of questions and some confusion about the worksheet. So I'm going to be going over how to do some of it. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up here on my screen. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. So question 1 says, draw a wave with a high frequency. So a frequency is the amount of the wave that passes. So hopefully you drew something that went really fast up and down. Okay. Now draw a wave with a low frequency. Okay. That's a wave that very rarely looks like that. Okay, so now number 1 says, how many joules of energy are in one photon of light that has a wavelength is 630 nanometers? So my wavelength it's the lambda, right? It's up here. It looks like that. Now this is tricky because I have to use this equation where lambda is given and I'm solving for energy. So I'm going to write that down. I'm solving for energy and it has h times c divided by lambda. Okay, that's kind of a lot. So h tells me this is given right here. It is 6.63 times 10 to the negative 34th times the speed of light, which is 3 times 10 to the 8th, divided by 630 nanometers. Okay, 630 nanometers is times 10 to the negative 9th. Okay, and that's how you would plug it up, or plug it in. Okay, so plug that into your calculator using the parentheses as well. So for my answer, I got 3.2 times 10 to the negative 19th. Okay, and that's in joules. All right, joules of energy, 3.2 times 10 to the negative 19th. Okay, so the next one says violet light has a wavelength. So I know my wavelength, and I'm solving for frequency. Okay, so I'm solving for V. So I need to pick an equation that has both of those. Well, if I'm solving for V, I'm going to pick this equation right there, where it says V is equal to C divided by the wavelength. Okay, well, I know C is the speed of light. That is 3 times 10 to the 8th. Divided by the wavelength, well, that's given right there. 4.10 times 10 to the negative 12. So all we got to do is plug that in my calculator. 3 times 10 to the 8th, parenthesis, divided by 4.10 times 10 to the negative 12th. And I got 7.3 times 10 to the 19th. And that is frequency. So the unit for frequency is hertz. Okay. Next one, I have wavelength and frequency again. Okay, so I use the exact same equation. 3 times 10 to the 8th over 1 times 10 to the negative 10th. I got 3 times 10 to the 18th. And once again, that is hertz. Okay, next one says, it gives me frequency. It gives me V and I'm solving for energy. It gives me V and I'm solving for energy. Okay, that means I can use this equation. E equals HV. So I'm going to write this at the bottom. E equals HV. Okay, so I know what H is. That's 6.63 times 10 to the negative 34th. My frequency is given right there, 2.68 times 10 to the 6th. Now I just got to plug it in my calculator. So parenthesis, 6.63 times 10 to the negative 34th times, parenthesis, 2.68 times 10 to the 6th power. And I got 1.8 times 10 to the negative 27th. And energy is in joules. Okay. Hopefully that kind of made sense. Now you have some problems on the back. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the equation you're going to use so that you can plug it in and get your answer. Okay. So calculate the energy and wavelength. Okay. So energy, you're going to use H times V. So that'll give you your energy. To solve for wavelength, you're going to have C divided by that. Okay, so those are the two equations. Same thing, same equations down here. Calculate the wavelength. To calculate wavelength, you're going to have C divided by the frequency. And to calculate energy, you're going to use H times the frequency. Calculate the wavelength. So in this equation, the wavelength is equal to C divided by the frequency. And then 8 says, rank the parts of the electromagnetic spectrum from lowest frequency to highest frequency. You will have to Google that, okay? You might have to look that one up. All right, what's the electromagnetic spectrum? You got ultraviolet, gamma, infrared, visible, microwave, radio wave. We will go more into detail on those, but answer those. You might have to look those up. What is the relationship between frequency and wavelength? Hopefully yesterday you saw as one went up, the other went down. Okay, so those were inversely proportional. Okay, and what is the relationship between energy and frequency? Okay, so my equation is this. So if my frequency goes up, my energy will also go up. Okay, so those two are directly proportional. Okay, so I hope this video helped solving these problems. If you already submitted it, that's okay. But if not, I hope that helps. And if you still have any questions, let me know. If not, I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.